And welcome back to Come and Get It, your family dinner favorites. I'm Lisa Brels. I'm here with our next guest, Karen Pope. She comes to us from Charleston, Illinois tonight. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
What is it that you are making? It's something a little unusual or different.
I'm making grilled mussels with a lime butter sauce.
Okay, so mussels. Tell us a little bit about what we have to do or look for with mussels.
Sure. I really like using mussels. They're a great protein to use instead of chicken or beef, so you can change up your menu. With mussels, you can get them at your local grocery store, and you want to look for live mussels.
Okay.
The first thing I do when I get them is to clean them by soaking them in water for about 20 minutes, and that gets any dirt or sand out of the shells.
Okay.
Then the next thing I do is to check them for what's called a beard. It's this little hairy part right here on the side. If you see it, you just pop it off.
Okay.
The other thing you want to check for with mussels is to make sure that they're closed all the way.
Okay.
If they're not, you can kind of tap them shut and they should seal back up. And if they don't, then you should discard them because they're probably not alive.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so these are some cleaned mussels, and I really like grilling them. It's a fast and easy way to cook them. It takes about 5 minutes on a hot grill at 350.
Okay.
So I'm going to go ahead and put these mussels on here. And it doesn't matter really how you arrange them. I typically try to do it so that I can see them when they open.
Okay.
Mussels are really fun to cook with, I think, because they have a built-in timer. When they are ready, they start to open. And because they cook inside of a shell that does have some moisture, they pretty much steam themselves, so they're very low, you know.
Right. Yeah. No, they're low maintenance.
Right, low maintenance, thank you. And so, anyway, so while those are cooking, then I would start on my sauce. And this is just a wine reduction. So I'm going to heat about a cup of wine on medium-high heat. Okay. And once it starts kind of boiling and is reduced about by half, I'm going to add in cold butter. And this right here is a compound butter. I've made this up ahead of time, so it has shallots, leeks, and green onions, which I've sautéed. So
and you included this in the recipe that you sent, right?
Absolutely.
So the lime butter, we're good there.
Yes, it's in the recipe.
Okay.
And I also put lime zest and half of a fresh squeezed lime, which gives it this really bright citrus flavor and a kind of sweet oniony flavor. Okay. So I'm going to start adding this butter in one at a time and just kind of whisking it so that it starts to melt. Okay. And once that piece is melted, then I'm going to add the next piece. Okay. Because you're adding fat to a liquid, you don't want to add it too fast or it'll separate out and it won't be as tasty as it could be.
Okay, so in making this dish, it seems so complicated, but you say that it's very easy to prepare and doesn't really take that much time.
It is incredibly easy. I probably will have this sauce done before we're done chatting today. And the mussels, as you can see, some of them are already starting to open. The mussels take about 5 minutes on the grill. The sauce maybe takes about 8 or 10 minutes. And then I usually serve it over pasta, which according to package directions could be anywhere between 20 minutes with boiling water.
Right, right.
I really like serving this when I'm entertaining because I can do so much of it ahead of time. I can clean the mussels, I can make the butter. Pretty much I'm only in the kitchen to make the sauce and boil the pasta.
Or it saves time so you can do other things. You can
entertain with my guests.
Yeah, exactly. Hang out.
Have some wine.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, this is a Chardonnay. And
does it matter?
It does not matter. I think any white wine would go really well with this butter. Okay. Whatever you like to drink, Okay. So pretty much when you're cooking with mussels, I really like. This is a recipe I developed when I was a kitchen manager at a busy catering and restaurant business, and we really wanted to use mussels because you don't see them a lot in Central Illinois. And now I do in-home cooking classes, and one of my goals with that is to encourage people to branch out and try new recipes, try new ingredients, and just see what's out there because there's a lot.
It's awesome, yeah.
Mussels are also really cool. I'm sorry, I'm just going to go on about the mussels for a minute.
We don't have any other mussel recipes in the book, I can pretty much guarantee.
All right.
So.
Well, with mussels, they can be grown sustainably. You can use man-made reefs, and they actually improve the biodiversity of the water around them. So I think that, if you're worried about how what you're eating is impacting the environment, mussels are a really good option for some meal replacement or
especially with
seafood.
I think that's,
absolutely
something we hear a lot about. So. So
now I have some of these that are opening up, so I'm going to get them off the grill.
Okay.
And you can see that beautiful orange color on the inside there. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly what you want to see when you're cooking with mussels.
So you just find the mussels at any supermarket, pretty much. You can.
I found them at the local grocery store in Charleston. Okay. And they were only $4 a pound, which is a pretty cost-effective substitute for, you know, chicken or beef. They're really great, and this compound butter that I make is really versatile as well. I think compound butters are really fun to use. You can add different ingredients to the butter ahead of time, and then you can melt it whenever you want. I know that I like to, this recipe that I put in the book does make a lot, but what I do is I usually portion it down and freeze some, and some I bring with me when I'm when I'm going to.
And how long does it keep in the freezer?
About 5 to 6 months. Okay. So you know, you can make it once and have dinner 4 or 5 different times, you know, and not get sick of it.
Okay.
So I think these mussels over here are done, and we are just going to pour some of this butter sauce on it.
Okay.
Like I said, I usually serve it over pasta, but these are great as an appetizer on their own.
Oh, wow. That's a good idea.
Yeah. And I usually serve it with whatever vegetable is fresh and in season. Okay. We have a great farmer's market in Champaign. I know there's one, and there's one in Coles County in the summer months. So, you know, I encourage people to go out and seek what's out there, because there's definitely a lot to be had in this area.
Definitely, I would agree. Okay, so we've got about a minute left. This is the step that you're doing here, is you're just sort of basically soaking them in this butter.
Yep.
And then
drenching them in the sauce.
And then what do we have here?
And then I have some tomatoes and some parsley, which I'm just going to garnish with. And these tomatoes are just another bright, fresh kick. And the parsley just looks great. When I'm entertaining, this is just an impressive dish to serve, because you get to see these dramatic mussels that are so dark with the orange flesh, and you have that rich, buttery sauce. Right. It's just a great dish.
Definite wow factor. So
absolutely.
Okay, so anything else you want to add real quick? 10 seconds?
If for any new cooks out there, I would encourage them to read the recipe before they get started, all the way through.
Good advice. Karen, thank you so much for joining us today. You can look at your screen and see the finished dish. It's beautiful.